Okay, welcome in. Last regular season week of our season is upon us, and so a couple things to wrap up with before we get going with districts and playoffs. Last week, a couple things took place. Number one is on Tuesday night, played Staley. We're able to beat Staley 56-40, give us our 19th win of the year. Important note of that 19th win was that it gave us, over the course of 5 years, it gave us 100. So that was a pretty significant win for us. Also kept us undefeated in conference, and then had to prepare and get ready for Friday night. Friday night, Oak Park came in, conference game, able to beat Oak Park. And with that win, put us at 10-0 in league. So we've got 2 more games left in league play. With a 1-game lead, so depending upon how things go tonight, we could at the very least clinch a share of conference, and then Friday against Raytown, it'll either be for the outright conference championship or for a share of it. So important note of that, because it's been a while since we've had a conference title, and something these guys have been working towards and had on their minds. Also last Friday we were able to recognize our 11 seniors, which is really special for us to our 8 senior players, our 3 senior managers, get those guys recognized for all the contributions that they've given. A handful of those guys have been 3-year contributors on the floor. Our managers, much the same. You guys don't see them behind the scenes, but equally, very, very valuable to our program. So we were able to recognize those guys. I hope that we did them justice. They felt honored. They felt recognized in a little ceremony. But the thing about this group is that they are, I'm sure they were appreciative of it, but they're probably more focused going forward about what we've got left and what we can accomplish. So we'll keep grinding with those guys. And then lastly, district seeding meeting was held. We earned the number 1 seed in our district, and we'll play the winner of North Kansas City or Winnetonka, who play Monday the 29th of February. Then we won't play until that Thursday. We will play the winner of that game and then kind of go from there as to how district play works. So obviously we're excited about what we've got left this week, opportunity to compete for a conference championship, and then when this week's done, we'll move right into the playoffs. So not a lot of time to rest and regroup. It's time to really play our best basketball going forward, and we're hopeful and confident that that'll be the case. So with that, open it up to you guys.
With winning the first seed and the first week bye week, do you prepare any differently with like any easier days or days off?
The thing that it allows us to do, it's a good question, here it is the thing that earning that bye allows us to do is it gives us really, the top 3 teams wouldn't play till Thursday. So the Thursday date was set, but the one thing that it does is we don't know the opponent. So if anything, it maybe adds a little confusion. But we also know that our district, when you get to the playoffs or when you get to districts, weird, crazy things happen in playoff basketball. So what we've got to make sure we're doing a good job of is focusing on who we are, making sure that we're really sharp in what we do. If that's actions that we run, then we can spend more time reviewing our stuff. So it gives us time to really hone in on who we are, make sure that we're fine-tuning some things and getting better. So it's an accomplishment to our season to earn that 1 seed, and the guys should be, proud of that, because it's not easy to do. There's only 16 1 seeds in the district or in the state in Class 5. So we're certainly happy for and proud of it, but the work's still yet to be done on that.
Who or what do you consider to be the biggest challenge in the upcoming playoffs?
Yeah, the way we approach it's going to be the biggest thing. We can't put too much pressure on ourselves. We can't get too far ahead of ourselves as far as if we aren't focused the way we need to be. If we maybe aren't playing well in a certain game, we can't put too much pressure on ourselves. So the biggest challenge is just making sure that when the stakes are highest, we just stick to who we are. And that's hard to do, but we practice like that every day. We try to prepare like that every day. You guys are sick of me saying it, and the players, have said it a million times, but the biggest game of our year is whatever game's coming up next. And if we approach it any different way, that's when you get caught. Because then you're thinking too big, you're putting too much pressure on yourselves. So, making sure that we understand situational aspects are important. Do we understand, if we're up by 3, how we need to play defense? Do we understand if we're down by 2, what we need to run on offense? Like, those are the challenges going forward. The opponents are obviously very, very worthy. I mean, it's the playoffs. Everybody's fighting for their seasons to continue. So just making sure that we're sharp in who we are will be the focus of us going forward.
Like you said, senior night was on Friday. How has this high number of seniors impacted the team chemistry this year?
Yeah, I mean, significantly. It's a good point. I mean, significantly. They've allowed, as a coaching staff, they've allowed us to be able to coach situationally, meaning we haven't had to spend a ton of time on, like attitude and effort. We've been able to spend more time on the X's and O's of basketball, how we need to carry out scouting reports. We've been able to do some stuff because we haven't had to spend much time in the, immaturity or the lack of experience. So hopefully the other thing it's done is it's shown guys, younger guys, how to practice, how to play, how to conduct your business. Hopefully those two things coupled together have made it so that, this team can be successful going forward, but also the teams that we'll have coming up after them will see some of the same stuff.
Has the atmosphere of the locker room changed now that you guys are approaching the end of the season and playoffs?
I don't know. That's a good question, and one that I think would be appropriate for our guys. I don't feel it. I don't feel that necessarily it has, but it'd be a good question to ask them. Our approach as a coaching staff hasn't changed. Our approach as to what we do in practice, how we do our scouting reports and all that hasn't changed. But if there's something different about what's going on in the locker room, those guys would be a good one to ask about them.
How does stuff change during like postseason and stuff?
Well, I mean, the change, I don't know if here's the biggest thing is you lose, you're done. So when you play in the postseason, if you lose, you turn in your equipment a couple days after the fact. If you lose in the regular season, you got another game on your schedule. So that's the biggest change and a pretty significant one as well, because it adds pressure to people. They don't understand the finality of it. The pressure that comes with it can make people do weird things. But I don't necessarily think that anything really changes. I know this, we don't change anything come postseason. So hopefully that formula will continue to work for us, and we'll see where it comes.
With the number of games dwindling down, how are you preparing your seniors to play their strongest in their last high school games?
Making sure that we're giving them the right information, making sure that the scouting reports are sharp as to, we're doing our part to put them in position to succeed. Our scouting reports got to have the right personnel tendencies. They got to have the right actions that teams are running so that our guys feel the most confident going forward. We've got to empower them, make them feel confident, make them feel like when they step out on the court they're going to succeed, they're going to play well, and that's all we can ask at this time of year. We need to find a way the last week of February into March, and all we need to do is be 1 point better than the opponent. Style points, looking pretty, all that stuff's out the window. You just need to be 1 point better, and hopefully we can do that here the last little bit. Anything else? All right. Appreciate it. Hope to see you guys this week on the road. Independence, William Crispin tonight, Raytown High on Friday, and then we will wrap up our regular season and head into conference. So appreciate all your support, and look forward to seeing you guys down the road.